As an attorney, is your suggestion to draw up legal documents?
Yes.
All right. That will detail every specific dibbing out of monies, what the person is owed, the terms of the agreement. I mean, you know all the legal terms. Would you suggest that happens?
Yeah, see, you got to do whatever you would do if you were not dating this person.
Gotcha.
Right? We know some people, you know, they got cat raggedy businesses that they don't operate properly. So this applies just period, guys. But you have to look at this person business to business. This is a B2B, right, relationship. Mm-hmm. I have a law business, but guess what? I may need a forensic accountant to check somebody's books to make sure you ain't hiding money from my client. I'm just using that as an example, not that I do that work. But let's say that my significant other was a forensic accountant who had the skill to do that. I would then contract with him just like I would contract with any forensic accountant, right? It would be the exact same agreement. All of that would be the same. It doesn't matter because it's bad, right? We would just do that because I'm a fiduciary of my client's funds. So in that scenario, you have to think about it. Just like you're a fiduciary in your own business, right? You are a steward over that particular business and the health of that business. So you want to make sure that you are operating from a business perspective. I mean, I've had situations where people that I have been interested in or have been interested in me, or we have been involved, that we have done business together, right? But at the end of the day, I don't have a problem saying, well, you know, I mean, you cute, right? But what's the cut? Like, what, right. You know what I'm saying? What's my piece? Because is it straight fees? Am I getting a percentage? Like, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this business situation.
Right. See, I think that's very important. I think that what I have seen so often is people kind of get caught up in the newness of the relationship. The image of the power couple is another syndrome I see, where people are so interested in producing this image like, yo, we're going to be this power couple. And it causes a lapse in judgment, maybe is what I would call it, because you stop being as astute as you should be in the affairs of your business.
Here's the thing about, well, let me speak to that just real quick.
Okay.
Here's the thing about the power couple is that y'all both got to be going in the same direction.
Yes.
That is a business partnership where you guys are working towards the exact same goal. Your other half, whoever that is, it doesn't matter if it's the man or the woman, y'all got to sit down together and come up with the vision and the strategy. Everybody has to do their part. There's nothing wrong with a power couple, but what you see with the successful power couple is they do just that. They got one vision and they're both doing their parts to make that vision a reality. What it is, you do have people that romanticize this. They got a skill set. They see dude over here, he look good. And it's like, oh, he'll look good on my arm, or I'll look good as his arm candy. And plus I'm smart. So we're going to be a power couple. It don't work like that.
That's right. That's right.
Uneven. You both have to be bringing something to the table, right? That's going to further that vision and that mission. But guess what, power couples, you still want to make sure that you still got your paperwork in order because it is still business, even within a marriage.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. And I think that it's very important to set the guidelines before you meet that person, that you're never going to omit doing the business, covering yourself in business. You have to do that. And I recognize the fact that we know we can easily fall in love with somebody and all of that. But as you said, LaTonya, you use the best word. You can't romanticize that to the point that you lose your mind. You can't lose your business mind, that this person is cute. This person is fine. All of that stuff. But at the end of the day, you're talking about the protection of your business. Now, I want to address this piece because we have to get delivered from images. See, because even if you want to be a power couple and you're looking at the image, it is just that, an image. You have not even considered that both parties, you think Kanye and Kim ain't got their separate lawyers? You think they sharing a lawyer? No, they are not. You think Will and Jada ain't got separate lawyers? Steph And what's his wife name, Latanya? Steph Curry's wife, whatever name is.
Alicia.
Yeah, Aisha, whatever name is. They have separate lawyers, I'm sure. What's his name? John Legend and Chris, whatever name is, a little teaching girl. So here's the thing, because everybody recognizes that there's a lot of money on the table. It's a lot of money on the table. You think about the dude at Amazon, Bezos, whatever his name. What's his name, Tanya? You know, I'm bad with names. Jeff
Bezos.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you think they were splitting an attorney? No. All right. You got to think in terms of, I got to protect myself because it's a lot of money on the table and it's my livelihood. And let me tell you what, that's about loving in a dimension that will not rob you. You don't want to love.
And you know what? I want to clear something up, because I don't want us to get off tonight and people think that it's one versus the other. Because
right.
If you do these things, you are securing a future for your family unit.
Yeah.
Period. When you put all of these things in place and they're done right, you're protecting yourself and the other person. So if you do come together in a marriage, you are protecting the legacy and the integrity of the unit when you do these things. There are so many people that end up, the state decides what happens, right? That's what happened when people get a divorce. When we can't come to an agreement, the state decides, some judge decides what's going to happen, right? When people pass away, right? The judge decides what's going to happen when you don't set things up a certain way where you don't have those issues. This goes beyond, I know tonight we're talking about securing the bag. It goes beyond this small little window of how you going to deal with Bay and your money.
Right.
Right. It really does go beyond that. And it opens up, or it's an introduction to the conversation. We want you to think critically about this, because this is usually what's right in your face. But at the end of the day, we want you to think critically about what is the next step in your life, right? Where do you want things to be for your children, for your wife, for your husband, or that life partner, right? Everybody don't believe in going to the courthouse and getting married, but it's people that's been together 30, 40 years that's never done that.
Right.
But at the end of the day, they want to make sure that things are there and provisions are there for that person that's been with them this whole time, even though they have not decided to go through what people are now calling a state marriage or something. I don't know what that is. Besides, I guess it just means you go get the paper. But the point that I'm trying to make, because I don't know what other kind of marriage it is, but the point that I'm trying to make is that, this is really an introductory conversation to get you to thinking about what is the next phase, right? I'm sure all of you got it all together, right? I'm sure you got your trust set up. I'm sure you got your catch-all wheel, right? I'm sure you got your power of attorneys for your kids if something happened to you. I'm sure you got that. I'm sure you got your living will down, in case something happened where you like suspended between, that life and death situation where you can't do anything. I'm sure you got all of that, right? Right? Everybody got that. So maybe you're not the person who needs to be thinking about the next steps. I know we're talking right now about the small things, to me, small things, because, right, you can just choose not to do some of this stuff and you're fine. You ain't got to call me. It's when you choose to do it and you get burned, then that's when you need to call me. Or if you're thinking about doing it, that's when you need to call me. So I just wanted to make sure that, Mario, that we let them know that this is not just about, fun and relationships and figuring out how to hide money from your man or from your woman. You already know how to do that.
Sure.
I don't have to tell you how to hide money. It's really about that conversation.
Yeah, and I think that we should probably tell them also how we got here. Like, how do we arrive at this topic today? Because between the legal and the emotional, we're finding that we're dealing with the same people. Because when these things happen, there is an emotional component that has to be worked through, as well as the legal component. And so as people who are practitioners in different arenas, but they're somehow interconnected, we thought that it was necessary to come and help anybody tonight that needs it, to recognize the fact that maybe if you're about to make this decision, maybe we can kind of introduce you to a conversation that maybe it's hard for you to forge. that you may be blindsided by, because the truth of the matter is we have empirical evidence that this is happening to people on a daily basis. So we would be remiss to love you guys the way we do and not say, okay, you know what? I have a situation like this. This is the person that I'm dealing with. And we not talk about it because it's very real. And it leaves some people devastated. Because even after they work through the legal pieces, now they are paranoid about trusting anybody else. You know what I mean? Maybe they learned the lesson, sure. But it's almost like there's a trust factor that has been violated. And now you are suspicious, even when a person has good intentions, their heart is pure toward you and your business. It leaves you devastated. And it takes sometimes years for you to recover, not just financially or legally, but emotionally. And so we try to merge this thing together because we're concerned about it, because we're hearing it not on just television, but in both of our practices. And so this is why we're saying maybe it's not you. Like LaTanya said, maybe it's not you, but it may be your sister. It may be your mama. It may be your auntie. It may be your daughter. It may be your son.
It's them.
Okay. Okay. But we do want to say, at least don't be afraid to have that conversation, because you put your time in to do your job, to work your business. You have the blood, sweat, and tears. The brother has the blood, sweat, and tears. And then for somebody to come in, you know, there's a resentment. This is the other thing, Tanya, because sometimes it's difficult, because you're right. You mentioned it very early. Like, if you love me, then you'll let me be a part of this business some kind of way. And sometimes that's a hard pill to swallow when you have to say no. No.
Well, here's the thing. If somebody say to you, if you love me, you will, right? And it's got something to do with something you don't want to do. Mm-hmm. Let's think about that. Because now you may be dealing with manipulation.
Yeah.
I know that's another show, but you may be dealing with manipulation. And again, this is really about understanding the next phase of you, right? Understanding the fullness of what you're trying to do, whether it's in your personal life, whether it's in your business life. A lot of people think just the fact of being married alleviates a lot of this stuff. You know what? So let me say this, and in some of the time that we have left, let me just be honest, right? These are things that you need to be looking at before you getting with somebody. And when I say that, I'm talking about if you're going to be with them, either marrying them or you're going to be doing some of the things that we're talking about. Now, if you just dating, kicking it, you ain't co-mingling, you're not doing anything, you may not have to get these things, right? Mm-hmm. But if it's anything that's going to be connected to you, these are the things that you need to get. Y'all need to share credit reports.
Absolutely.
Right? Bottom line, I need to see what your debt life looking like.
Updated credit report.
You get a free one every year, so pull it that day, right? I don't need you. Just do free. What is it? What y'all know what it is. I ain't gonna put nothing out there. Use the one, get it free, right? From all 3 credit bureaus. Mm-hmm. Just in case you're taking notes. Number 2, right? Get a tax transcript, right? If you got questions about his or her job, get a wage and income transcript. It's free. Your own. It's free, right? Because what the tax transcript is going to show you, are there any liens and levies coming down the pipe? Guess what? They may not even be assessed yet, right? And so they ain't attached, or maybe. Because guess what? Before you add this person to your bank account, remember what I said earlier, anything attached to their social security number is going to get frozen.
Yeah.
Period. I'm not saying snoop, but at the end of the day, y'all got to think about this. Listen, it helps the partnership. You know why? Because if you know they're about to levy your bank account, you better go down there and get that money.
And let me say this right here, Deshaun. Let me say this. You just used the word that is very popular in our society right now, and that is partnership. We're partners. We're life partners. Well, guess what? What business partner does not know what the other business partner is doing most of the time? And what safeguards do they have in place? So if you're going to use that word, use it all the way in its totality. Be a real partner and know this information. Let me add one that you need to put in there too. If they have children that are under the age of 18, you need to know the child support status. You need to know that, because that bleeds into even criminal type stuff now, because you get into, they could be arrested, lose a business license. They can use their professional license. They can lose their driver's license. You need to know that. You need to, if they got